Is it live? Hi everyone. Let me just get this settled, okay? Let me hit in the chat. I am doing live readings. Personal cues. So I've changed the price just a little bit because we have some more people here. The channel's becoming more popular. So I decided to do live readings today for $15, and you can ask up to 3 questions. Okay? So let's get settled in. There we go. I think that's a better angle, huh? Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Okay. So, let me get some of the other decks. Let me get the good guys out here. It's a full moon, so you already know what it is. It is a. I actually thought that the full moon was yesterday. I think it's today, actually. Hi. Yeah, the Hierophant Ace of Swords. So how has this full moon been treating you all? I received like some news from like a couple of friends, like at least 2 or 3 of my friends, like they have not had a good full moon energy. It has like not been good to them. But I've personally heard that this super blue moon in Sagittarius is supposed to be very lucky. Like now is a perfect time to be making a bunch of wishes, to be tapping into like what it is that you really, really want. One exercise that I have been doing lately is to actually justice, thank you, is to actually be very specific about what it is that I want. Not just like, oh, I want abundance, I want prosperity, but to say, you know what, this specific thing, I actually want this specific thing. And I feel like that helps the energy that wants to help you be clearer on how they can help you. I may need to get my computer charger too. 10 of Swords reverse, 6 of Swords. The Emperor, 6 of Swords. All right. So we're just kind of settling in. Yeah, 2 of Pentacles to the 10 of Swords. There's like an energy that has come through here. And I think this is more of a general energy. And I was going to tap into this as a reading for you all anyway. Also, face card. Okay. Now you all know what Anonnie looks like. Now you all know how I look, the face behind the voice. So yeah, like one thing that I've come to learn is whenever my mind will tell me to delay something, I will have a thought that pops into my mind that says, oh, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Oh, go do this right now. Go do that right now. And whenever I have that voice pop up, I feel like my brain or like something more rational say, no, we can't do that right now. We have to do this. Like, no, I cannot commit to this task right now that seems like it would be a lot more fun for me to do because I have this to-do list over here. I've started to realize that the way that devil energy tries to manifest at times is the energy of delay. Like, don't worry, you can do it tomorrow. Yeah, Knight of Swords to the 2 of Swords. It's like this voice that comes in, this entity or this consciousness that will burst forth and say, don't worry, you could do it later. Don't worry, you could do it tomorrow. So Knight of Swords to the Two of Swords is the energy of rushing, but then you're still indecisive, right? So be consciously aware of indecision at this point in time. Okay, yeah, with the Two of Swords and the message here, because I feel like even if these decisions that you're about to make, you're not 100% sure of the outcome, you're receiving them as a download anyway. Okay, Seven of Pentacles here. Like there's a reason that they want you to go do that first thing, because it's the first step that will take you further along a different journey. It's just the first step to something that would make you feel very happy, very satisfied. You know, I wonder if at this time on Sunday, many people aren't awake yet. For me, it's about 8:35. The Empress and Four of Swords. Yeah, I think I think that perhaps people are like still sleeping, but that's okay. Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday. I think perhaps I'll try going live later today too, like maybe when more people are up and at 'em. Yeah, we have the King of Cups, the Seven of Wands. There are dogs howling outside. I don't usually hear dogs howling out there. You hear that, Bubba? Yeah, the Fool energy. We have the Four of Coins and the Fool. Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Like, what's most important for you right now is to remain confident in what it is that you're doing. With the Four of Coins here and the Fool, this is like, take what you have. What you have is enough for you to begin this new journey, for you to be at the new cycle here. So with the Four of Coins, it may feel to you like you don't have enough, or it may seem like, oh, well, this is all that I have. But with the Fool energy here, that Fool energy just had like a knapsack or something. I feel that this is all you really need. And I'm hearing begin again. So this is an energy where someone has had to start over and begin again. And in this begin again energy, you may have started at like, not necessarily ground zero at all. They're saying, no, not at ground zero. But it's kind of like you are starting again with an empty apartment, or you are starting again where you can create what you want of this situation from what you have. And what you have, they're really telling me, is all that you need right now. It's this energy of, you know, when you have someone who is a genius and they're like living in their parents' garage or something like that. It's that type of energy that is coming through, where like all they actually really needed to create that computer or to rebuild the motorcycle, all they actually needed was the garage. And once they took the first step to actually label this garage as their workshop, as their office, then the next step would be revealed to them. So I feel here with the Four of Pentacles, they really want you to maintain this inner standing, that you're not in the old cycle, you are somewhere completely new, that new things can happen for you, things that you couldn't even imagine in the old cycle can happen for you now. So they want you to know that it is worth it, and it has been worth it for you to take this leap of faith. It's worth it. So preserve your manifestation here. Okay. That's just a first pull. Yeah, Three of Wands and the Fool, because something is coming in. I feel here that you've recently made room for new to show up. But what you feel like you're looking at right now is just empty space. And so that can feel daunting in a way. where you're looking at the empty space and wondering, okay, like, is this going to get filled, or like what's going to show up? What's going to happen? I can feel that something has already landed its target on this space and it's coming and it's on its way, but I'm still looking at it and it seems like it's kind of empty. What's going to fill it? They want you to know that it is being filled. Like, have patience with this. Okay? Yeah, look, they just showed me the Knight of Cups to the Ace of Cups to the Nine of Swords to the Eight of Cups here, and the message with the Emperor. Yeah. I feel like you are stepping into your own here. Like you are in the middle. You are in the middle of what do they how do they want me to frame this? It's like you're in the middle of the gestation energy. You know, when someone is a genius and they're creating something and they don't even know how big it's going to be or how impactful it's going to be in the world. And when they get to that point and they're at the other end, they'll look back at this time period, and you're in this time period now where they're like, wow, I had no idea that that was what I was making. And I knew it, and I had some type of idea of how successful it was going to be. But truly, I was just kind of leaping, taking leaps of faith and hoping that this would work out. And it did. So really, I feel here like you are this emperor, you are this leader, you're taking the initiative. So follow when you feel inspired to take initiative, because that is leading you exactly where you're meant to be. Yeah. I feel like the divine is saying they know that you've been asking for support and for help with the Three of Swords here, Death, and Six of Rods. They know that you've been asking for support and for help. And they are looking at you from the energy of this victory that they already know is yours. So again, I know it may seem daunting and you're wondering, like, where is this around me? I know that it's meant to be there, but where is it really? They want you to know that it is here. Like, they want you to know that it is happening for you. So just hold on to that instead of any form of self-doubt, or instead of any form of being afraid that it won't work out for you, or that the old cycle will replay itself again. We rebuke that. It's not going to replay itself again. I'm hearing like the same old record. It could seem like your mind has been playing the same old record here, and they're ready for you. And I think you're ready to break out of that. And they're telling me you break out of that by doing new things that you've never done before. And they're talking with me about like neurogenesis or neuroplasticity, which is when the brain, this can happen like during exercise and like meditation and things like that, but the brain will create new pathways between neurons. So that becomes your assumed pathway, so to speak. So when you have that assumed pathway, it's going to relay back to your mind, do this specific behavior, think this specific thing. Okay, so it is essentially your habitual thinking, believing, and behaving pathways, and your feeling pathways that are habitual. So they want you to actually focus on creating new habits here so that your brain can stop taking the same old pathways that are not serving you anymore, so that the new habitual pathways are engraved in this new beginning. They're telling me here that there's like this default mode network in your mind. They're telling me that there's this default mode that your brain is operating on that is built off of pain and trauma that you have experienced in the past. That is your default mode network. And in order for you to break out of that default mode, those default pathways that your brain will take, those same old circuits, you need to start engaging in new behaviors that become a habit. Right now, I think that one thing you should be wishing for that would be beneficial to you during this super new moon is to actually wish for new habits, to wish for the determination, the discipline, the stamina, and the enjoyment for you to build new habits. That's why your brain is thinking the same thing. That's why there may be some, like, let me fluff. Let me fluff. That's why there may be some intrusive thoughts that are coming through, why it seems like your brain is thinking the same ways or the same thing, even though you want to think otherwise or you want to behave otherwise. It's because you need to create new daily habits and you need to follow them every day. And some of those habits need to include things that facilitate neurogenesis, like exercise facilitates or makes it easier for your brain to shift and change in these new ways. It's literally like molding plastic. Okay. So that's what they're telling me is one thing that you should try to wish for during this super new moon, to be able to follow through these new habits that will actually support you in getting to the destination that you want to be and where you want to be. And that, I feel like they're telling me, and that's how you think like an emperor. That's what an emperor will do. That is what the masculine energy will do, that we all have within ourselves. It will get up, it will make its breakfast, it will meditate. The masculine energy is the driving force that will increase our motivation to complete that outcome that we want, to go out, to grab it, to get it. Okay. So I think for some of us here, there's like a new engagement and a new habitual engagement we need to have with our masculine energy. Okay. That's going to help get us out of this 9 of Swords, this state of worry, this state of, I don't know what's going to happen. When you create those habits, it helps to solidify the outcome so that it doesn't feel so worrisome. Like if you do however many push-ups, however many sit-ups every day, so to speak, 5 days a week, 6 days a week for several months, we all know that your muscles will become acclimated to that. So these habits will actually help you to have more control over what you want your outcomes to be instead of worrying about them. Okay. Instead of worrying and being unsure, how am I going to do this? How is this going to work out? How is that going to happen? Okay. The antidote here, I feel like the problem solver here is not to think about it more, but to actually create a habitual schedule and ritual that you follow so that your mind doesn't have so many ways or so many opportunities to second guess, to catastrophize, to overassume, to ruminate. You're too busy with your habits. Hi, Noel. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. This super new moon, or super blue moon, sorry, super blue moon in Sagittarius. It's interesting. I do not know many Sagittarii. What is the plural for Sagittarius? Somebody please tell me. I do not know the plural for that. It's not even Sagittarius season. It's Gemini season, isn't it? Ooh, look at this lighting. This lighting is it, y'all. But yeah, no, it's Gemini season. But yeah, so we have the full moon in Sagittarius. And, to be honest, I'm not that hip on astrology signs and what they mean. Yeah, we have the moon on top of the Ace of Cups. I want to tell you here, okay, with these habits that the divine is encouraging for you to create, yeah, Page of Cups to the Knight of Swords, with these habits that the divine is encouraging you to create, there's actually a childhood wish fulfillment that is going to come through for you. Because we have the Ace of Cups to the moon, the 6 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups. I feel here like there's something that you wished that you wanted to do when you were a child, but I don't even think it's on your mind anymore, so to speak. And I don't think it's really that you forgot about. I don't think it's that you intentionally tried to dismiss it. What I'm seeing here is it was like a wish that you had, something that you always wanted to do, and then you kind of just got busy growing up. You kind of just got busy becoming an adult. But there's a specific childhood wish that you have here that is in your unconscious, that is actually ready to be manifested for you. And it's going to come through you creating a habit and a ritual for how you spend your day to day. And I feel here like they're trying to tell you that it may seem like it's a bit scary for you right now, that you don't know what maybe there's something here about you don't know what would really fulfill you right now. Or it's like you have all of these wishes that are coming from your unconscious and they keep bubbling up to the surface. And I think with the moon energy here, you can wonder like, where is this coming from? Or is this like there's something here with the Nine of Swords about overwhelm mentally. So I feel like the divine is telling you that getting to this wish fulfillment, getting to this level of satisfaction and joy, this level of satiety, comes from a little more discipline in your life. It's interesting. It's like this energy again of when you're doing sit-ups 5-6 days a week and you're doing your cardio and you're doing the weightlifting and a month goes by and you're like, okay, I noticed like a little bit of a difference. I noticed a little bit of a difference, but like, is this actually working? And so that's usually the time, right? Like think about the New Year's wishes that people make. You know, after about a month, they're like, oh, I don't, and a month is like a moon cycle, right? After about a month, they're like, I don't know if this is working. I've been doing all of these like workout routines. I noticed a little bit of a difference, but it's not enough to be encouraging. So I feel here with the Nine of Swords, they don't want you to get caught up in the progress of it all. They want you to keep your mindset on how it makes you feel and how it would feel to achieve this outcome that you want. Okay? So that's really what they want you to keep in mind. It may seem like, okay, the efforts that I do every day, are they adding up to anything? Yes, they are. Okay? They are. So when you have this voice that comes up in your mind that questions your progress, that questions whether or not this is actually going to make you happy or whether or not you are happy, you know what I mean? You know, when we get to this space where we wished that we could be there, and then we're like, okay, is this everything that I want? They want you to I, they said relax. I feel like they really just want you to ease into this wish fulfillment that is yours and to have faith and to trust that even if it seems like it's not at its fullest fruition right now, that's because you're right at the beginning of it. 8 of Cups. Okay? Yeah, the sun. Exactly. You're right at the beginning of this. Hi, Danny. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Just doing some general readings and then maybe some personals. Welcome to the temple. Good morning. Yeah, Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups here. You know, I feel like I need to even admit to myself, like Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, Strength. I feel like I even need to admit to myself that like I've been very preoccupied with hater energy lately. So recently I published a new podcast. And so it's a podcast that's about altered states of consciousness. It's about entheogens. It's about spirituality. And an entheogen is something that helps us to recognize that we have divinity within us. That it's not like a separate God or a source that's out there, that it is actually within us, that we're a part of source. And so it has taken me about maybe like 8 to 10 months, about like 10 months for me to get this podcast together, to like edit all the videos, to create the graphics, to do all of the oversight all on my own. And when I finally published this podcast, I felt like this huge sense of relief and this huge sense of achievement. And I noticed a huge influx of negative energy. And I'm just going to be straight up with you all on that. I noticed a huge influx of negative energy where like I could hear like people's conversations about what I was creating, how they were judging it, what they were planning to do to try to make it look bad. It was OD. And it was like all of this energy that came through, and I had to figure out, how am I going to transmute this? Like, how am I going to ignore this, number one, but then also to transmute it? And I can feel the intensity of the jealousy and envy because I've been able to successfully create this podcast every single time I post about it. So I feel like this is what I want to share here when people say like new levels, new devils, so to speak. Because my guides literally told me this morning, like when I was in my meditation, as I was kind of like getting ready and walking around, like the more successful, like the higher peaks of success that I reach, the more consistent I need to be in my habits to make sure that my mindset is right, to make sure that I am cleansing my energy, to make sure that I'm compassionate with myself, loving on myself, believing in myself. And like literally, I'm telling you, at least once a week or even on the daily, but at least 2 to 3 times a week or once a week, depending on you, I need to actually transmute that energy. So it's not the same intensity of energy as when I was starting my doctorate program. It's not the same level of intensity when I was dating some guy that was a bum and I wasn't working on any of my projects. Now that I am more intensely committed to my purpose, spiritually, physically, non-physically, that means that I have to take up even my spiritual practices up a notch. And that's what my guides told me, because I was kind of doing the same old thing. When it seems like I need to cleanse, I'll do it. When it seems like this needs to be transmuted, I'll do it. But I'm telling you, the intensity of when I released this project and how successful it is as a podcast, the hater energy was like, I was like, oh my God. You know, like I had to sit back and say like, these people need to relax. Like I could feel the rush of jealousy. And it wasn't just non-physical. I started to notice people were copying my podcast. People were copying my podcast ideas. They were copying the types of posts that I was doing. People who were interested in my podcast, they didn't even respond when I told them that it had finally released. But they were so supportive before. They were like, oh, you're going to do great. It's going to be wonderful. All of these things. But as soon as I actually do it, they go silent. They don't like it. They don't tell me they listen to it. They don't give a positive rating on it. They don't leave a comment, nothing. They disappear as soon as I actually achieve the thing that they were encouraging me to do. And then they take that energy of what I have created and try to use it to create something themselves. That is me inspiring them. So yes, I don't mean to, the sun, thank you again. I don't mean to be like, it's not a negative Nancy energy at all. It's like the reality of it. I feel like I'm so successful now, I cannot afford to only meditate once every now and then. I need to meditate every single time I wake up. You know what I mean? Yeah, the moon is coming out again. Let's talk about it. The moon and the emperor. Let's talk about it. because you're strengthening in your sense of leadership now. You really are. And I can feel that for my own self too. Okay. Show us this about success. We have justice. Thank you, Divine Creator. You know, I'm just like a talking head today. Don't mind me, I'm a talking head today. I was also thinking about getting an oracle deck. Okay, I was thinking about getting a couple more oracle decks because, like, you know, I love reading tarot, but sometimes oracle decks just they're more detailed or more specific about a certain thing. And if I'm opening up and I'm channeled, you know, if I'm opened up enough and I'm channeling, then I'll get that specific detail. But sometimes when I'm just reading tarot, I won't get the specific detail like what an oracle deck can give to me. So let me know in the chat and in the comments if you think that I should get a couple more oracle decks. You know, like a finances deck. Maybe I'll get like one of those evil eye oracle decks, maybe, you know, things like that. Danny says yes. Okay, yes. And the judgment is yes. The guys are like, yes, we want some new decks. Okay. All right. Okay. What's in this moon energy that you want me to relay to the Divine Collective Most High? Oh, they want to talk about the full moon today. Obviously. Let's talk about the full moon. They told me that some of you should be singing today. Regardless of what you think of your singing voice, take some time this evening to, they're saying to howl at the moon. And they don't want you to, the Hierophant and the Eight of Pentacles here. They're not necessarily telling you to howl like an animal unless if you feel called to do so, right? But they're actually saying if you are singing this evening, they want you to sing from your heart. Sing what is on your heart so that it can manifest. So they're telling me it's close to this manifestation method that's called free association, but it's also a psychoanalytic intervention from Freud, you know, like, okay, because I know some of these things. So as an intervention in therapy, Sigmund Freud would have people just write things out. And as they would just write out, it was called free association. And no matter what it was that they would write, they would just continue writing. So it would just be a free flow energy of what they were writing. And they would pick up on certain things that would repeat itself or things that would associate themselves together. So let's say you're writing, then you end up writing about an ex, then you write about apples, then you start writing about apples and it comes back to your ex. There's some type of association in your mind from the unconscious where you have connected apples to your ex. And that's going to tell you about a memory that is significant, an emotion that was significant, so on and so forth. So they're actually saying that they want you to do vocal stimming, so to speak, or singing that is free association. They want you to try that this evening, and they want to make sure that it comes from your heart. Okay? Show me a bit more about this full moon energy. This is also a blue full moon. And you're wearing a blue dress? Oh, yes, I am. Maybe you all should try wearing blue today as well. Blue is the color of the throat chakra. Thank you. Yeah, 3 of Cups. Page of Swords to the 7 of Wands. Your guides want to connect with you specifically today. I'm not sure of what it is about the super blue moon or the super full blue moon, whatever it is that is happening today in Sagittarius. Maybe look at where Sagittarius is in your birth chart. But they specifically want to commune with you. This is specifically and literally like, get a bowl of water, have an offering, intentionally connect with your guides under the full moon today, because they're like watching over you and they want to support you in something that you're doing. With the Seven of Rods here, if anything, they want to affirm to you that you're in some place of victory over the enemies, so to speak, with the Seven of Rods here. I feel like this comes back to what I'm sharing with you about how when I put out a project, it was like a flooding of troll energy that decided to show its ugly head because I had passed and ascended through another threshold. So I feel here it's like they want to connect with you. They want to affirm to you that you're protected, and they want to tell you about your true positioning right now so you can see it clearly, how successful you are. Yeah, how successful you are. The Hierophant and the Six of Rods. And not just how successful you are, but the reason why you're successful is because you are who you are. With the Hierophant energy here. Like there's no faking that. You are successful because that is who you're meant to be. That is within you. It's not on you. You know, this reminds me, and this has been known to you since childhood. Six of Rods, Strength, King of Swords, Six of Cups. This reminds me of okay, they told me not to share that. Judgment and the World, the Sun. They're saying that they've given enough for this message, Queen of Swords, that I've spoken enough. Is that it, Divine? Thank you, Most High Creator. The Wheel of Fortune on the fence. It's like this destiny is yours. Knight of Pentacles. This destiny is yours. You need to commit to it. The only thing that is creating delay or having this destiny move slower is a lack of self-belief or a fear about what's on the other side. And this is actually really great news because it means that the only thing that's causing delay is something that's actually made up. And that's the difference between the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Eight of Swords means that it's a self-imposed prison of the mind. It is something that you are imposing on yourself that is making things move a bit slower for you. And that's actually a relief because you are you. So you can convince yourself even out of this position. I feel like this is what they want to show you this evening because they're giving me, they said maybe around 9 o'clock. Okay. They're giving me an evening time here. They're going to help you cut those cords. And I feel like they're not necessarily cords where you are blaming somebody else or you're still connected to somebody else. It's literally those pathways in your mind that are no longer serving you. I feel like they want to massage your mind in some type of way. Because don't they say that during the full moon, people lose their minds? They don't lose their minds, they're telling me. They're telling me that your mind is malleable. That your mind and your unconscious is actually more plastic. It's more malleable when the full moon is in its cycle. So you can be more easily influenced by what is going on around you. So that's what they're saying here. You can use it to your advantage to actually break and to get rid of, to disintegrate, they're saying, self-limiting beliefs. Thank you, Creator. Yeah, Two of Wands. And then the roads, then the floodgates open for you. After this full moon, the floodgates open for you. So adjust your mind and allow it in. Okay? Four of Pentacles, Six of Rods. This victory is for nobody else but yourself. So are you going to allow yourself to take it? Or will you be too stubborn holding on to what you already think that you already know? Okay? They're opening your mind this evening. Eight of Rods, and they're going to talk to you. Very nice. Thank you, Divine. Okay. Cosmic Family said that they want to come through. Okay. Yes, I'm hearing free your mind and the rest will follow. Don't be so blind. Something. Y'all gotta help me out. How does it go? I'm hearing you're doing amazing, sweetie. Yes. King of Cups, Three of Wands, Queen of Pentacles to the Ten of Cups. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Okay? Your guides, they are watching you. They know that this seems like it's uncertain, but your mind is making your life seem more uncertain than it really is right now. Okay? Okay, Cosmic Family wants to come through. Let me grab that. Thank you all for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Okay. Look, we have Ace of Cups coming out again. Thank you, Cosmic Family. What would you like for me to channel on this day? The Hierophant again. The Divine Within. They want you to know that you're like a supreme, powerful being. You are not contained to some type of realm where you have to acquiesce to its rules. You don't have to do that. That's what they're telling me here. They're literally trying to say like the rules are what you make of them. You're the rule maker. They're saying here like, you know how this is my YouTube channel, this is Anonnie's temple. They're like, you are the priest of the church. You are the creator of, I'm hearing you're like the creator of the Bible or something like that, okay? It's like you're the creator of the religious texts. You get to say what life means. You get to say what you want to follow. And of course, the divine is within you. And when you're in that divine energy, you're not going to follow malevolence or hatred or hurting people. You know, I feel here like they want you to really let it sink into your mind that you are source of everything that's around you. So maybe you Three of Swords reversed. I feel like this deep level of empowerment is the true repair that you need. You know, what they're bringing up to me is like things that have happened to me in my past where I felt a lot of systemic oppression. And I have been asking my guides about, you know, what do I do with this energy? Like I've experienced so much pain and heartbreak and hurt and physical illness, emotional fear because of people who were in positions of power over me, not treating me like I was a human being. And I feel here, like, look at how my hand is lighting up and look at the sun coming through. Divine is like, you don't need someone else to affirm that you're a human being. There's something here about how, I need to plug my computer in. There's something here about how like, there's this supreme, unshakable understanding they want you to carry with you everywhere. That you are source incarnate. And nothing outside of you can truly decide anything for you. This Hierophant energy is like, you are the decision maker. People come to you to repent. That's what I'm getting here. You do not go to others to repent for the decisions that you are making as the leader of this realm. Okay. When the vocabulary changes, that's when the channeling's coming through. That's what they're telling me. What's interesting and what's coming through here is like the Fool. Yes. Here's something else that they're bringing up that you can do for this super blue moon. I want you. Let me say it this way. The first thing that they said is they want you to go out and meditate under the full moon. The second thing that they said is they want you to meditate and they want you to sing to the moon. Okay? Sing about your wishes and your desires. Another thing that they're bringing up here is they want you to create a video game character, so to speak, that is you. And they want you to sit down and to describe them. They want you to draw them. What is the outfit that you are wearing? What are your superpowers? What is so brilliant about this avatar that when someone is playing a game, they choose it? Now, this is an exercise that's called externalizing, because of course that avatar is you. It is Source that put together so many miraculous aspects of you. They were like, oh my gosh, I have to play this game. I have to be this avatar. I have to be this incarnate. But for you to physically see on the page yourself as this video game character, all of the strengths, all of the weaknesses, all of the trials, all of the tribulations, all of the mannerisms, the personality aspects, how you physically look, what your superpowers are, how the world loves you, all of those things. Take some time to write out who you are as an avatar superhero, so that you can have an external reference that is more than what you can just look at when you're in the mirror, because that will reflect back to you what's in your unconscious. They want you to program your unconscious with who you are as that avatar. And don't let it be limited. My nose is itchy, so this is good. Don't let it be limited to what you see around you. So if I were to create an avatar, she does not need to be wearing a blue dress. You could be wearing golden robes. You could have a magic hat, because they're showing me the lightning guy from Mortal Kombat. I don't remember what his name is, but he was like the best character. Okay, but that's what they're showing me here. Let it be fantastic, fantastical. Maybe you have fairy wings and a cheetah tail with green skin. Okay, let it be imaginative. So imagine that avatar as your supreme empowered self, all loving, omniscient, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, and omnicognizant. Is that the last one? Okay. That's the third practice that you all can do today. Okay. Knight of Wands. That is actually the main preference for what they would like for you to do. But do whatever it is that feels inspiring to you to do. Okay. Thank you, Cosmic Family. Yeah, the Hierophant and King of Swords. Like, your guides want this to be something that is playful. And they're bringing up here that when you create this and you're done and you feel satisfied with it and you can feel the emotional surge of what you've just created about yourself and who you are, it may actually look like a drawing that you created when you were a child. That's what they're telling me. Thank you, Cosmic Family. King of Cups again. Who is this? Ooh, I felt a shift in the energy after that. Did you? I felt a shift in the energy after that. King of Cups. High Priestess. I'm going to close out the reading here, okay? With the King of Discs. I'm going to close out the reading here. I think I'm going to change this to just a collective reading. And later this evening during the full moon, I'm going to go live, okay? And maybe I'll do some personal readings around then. But for now, they're happy with the message. I hope that this has been helpful for you. Thank you for joining me at the Temple of the High Priestess. If you feel called to do any of the exercises that I mentioned, excuse me, go on ahead and do so. Thank you for liking. Be sure to donate to the channel because it helps the temple. It is tribute to the temple. It continues the messages and it continues the abundant flow between the two of us. Thank you for joining me. I close out the energy of this reading. Call my energy back to me, brilliant, purified, and cleansed. Glory be to the Source One, Creator of the Most High of all things. Ashe. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. See you.